Hello everyone and welcome to Phoenix International Raceway for the third round of the International Racing League. We're here at Phoenix, Arizona, obviously, and of course a few changes in the paddock have happened. First off, IRL Racing is no longer IRL Racing. It is Gary Snyder Racing. What happened was Swift Motorsports bought out a portion of the team. Gary Snyder was allowed to keep the other half. Of course, it's named Gary Snyder Racing, and they're still using Ferraris. The difference? Well, those Ferraris are powered by Audis. While it's known Casper Ackerman will stay at his seat, Aiden Jackson and Freddie Jones' seat are in the question. You see, Aiden Jackson is a Ferrari development driver, and Ferrari wants him in a Ferrari powered car. We do know for the US 500 he will be driving car number 28. The third car for Ferrari, that's usually driven by their test driver, Lara Myers. Excuse me. We don't know where Myers will be driving for the US 500 then. Also, Freddie Jones did cut his ties to Ferraris after this, so there's a good chance that Jones will be staying with Gary Snyder Racing and possibly go to Swift Motorsports in the near future. Speaking of Freddie Jones, he's making his debut today in car 47 for Gary Snyder Racing. Of course, Kaylee Zappa and Carlos Rodriguez are also making their first starts of the season with, of course, Swift Motorsports and Universal Motorsports, respectively. With that, let's take a look at your starting grid. On the pole for the first time in her career is Dolores Madrigal from Colombia. On her outside is the Team Rocket car of James Cathcart. The Team Rocket drivers have been really quick for the past 2 weekends, and let's hope that can continue. As we mentioned, Jesse Knox is in third, Jake Bennett in fourth. He is looking to close up on Rich Roy's points lead, considering Roy qualified. It wouldn't be that difficult. Row 3 is Ingy Arison and Nathan Ormond, both are having a difficult start to the season, but knowing who these two are, that shouldn't be a problem. Raver and Ace Smithley. Ace Smithley, I think first time this season she's out-qualified Rich Roy. Raver, he won the US 500 a few years ago. Kaylee Zappa making her debut this year, or first start this year, not exactly her debut. She qualified with her teammates courting behind her on her outside. Newgood and Devin Butler about where we expected them. Wesley Jewell is outshining the competition, followed by Danny Marco. Dan Connolly looking to finish the race for once, and Bogart Daniels. Biola Lang and Christopher Regazzoni a little further back than they wanted to. Victoria Underdog is looking to make it past lap 1 without incident, and Ryan Rickshaw wants to be closer to his teammate. Retro has been having an absolute mare of a weekend. Pierre Lamont said same for him. Tanner Hill has yet to finish a race this year. She wants to do that. Carlos Rodriguez, this is his first out of the year. Aiden Jackson is a new team. We'll get more of that later. Brianna Thorne, did everything but hit the hot dog stand this weekend. Ackerman, and welcome to the International Racing League, Freddie Jones. Kyle West and Jarrett Jackson in row 15. David Bloom, Mouse, and Holiday where we expected them. Same for Souza and Grainer. Matthews spun out and then hit the wall in qualifying. Everett Masson blew a motor right as he was ending her lap, which puts him 36th. And the third end, Edmund Berlund has a penalty from last weekend. Dolores Madrigal is going to lead the field to the green. And here we are in Phoenix for the round of Arizona, round 3 of 27. Doing that. Madrigal gets out to an early lead. Team Rocket. Cathcart starts at the racetrack. Knox is going to take advantage of it and slide into second. Ingy Arison going to follow suit as they're 3 wide behind them. Looks like that is for 6th. And that's Kaylee Zapp on the inside of, I think that was Raver. So, last time we heard of IRL Racing, they were in huge trouble with the idiot known as Vladimir Putin invading Ukraine. Audi stepped in, and along with Gary Snyder, they bought the team out. They've saved all the employees and drivers. Of course, the new sponsorship as well. They're also using Audi engines in the Ferraris, which could cause problems later on in the year. Anyway, Jesse Knox is making a move on Madrigal. Madrigal, the Independence Trophy driver. This is going to help her Independence Trophy bid. Jesse Knox, though, isn't involved for a title and probably needs this more than Madrigal. Though Madrigal's ahead of her Independence Trophy contenders. Knox is going to sweep into the lead. And the thing about this is a mile-long track, but it's very narrow. And if you get put out in the wrong lane, you're going backwards. And Dolores Madrigal was that corner by about 5 years. And Indy Arison's looking low. She's gonna get a run down the back straightaway, or excuse me, front straightaway. Entering one, Magikarp tries to touch the door, but it's a little too late. Arceus sweeps slow, and is gonna go for second, hopefully on the dog leg, which is the back straight. Arceus into second, and Magikarp trying to fight back, but again swings it wide. Cathar has a run, but Cathar also kind of flew that corner. The Lenard's a little bit more powerful than the BMW. Entering one, Cathar into third. Jake Bennett now looking low, and this is what happens during long lane. You just go backwards. Nothing you can really do unless you get a good run off 3 and 4 by running the high line. But well, Magikarp hasn't been doing a good job of keeping it off, or she's been blowing that turn way too often, so don't count it. That's how she lost the lead originally. Bennett, though, still side by side with Magikarp. I think he's having the most problems getting by the 64 car. The BMWs did bring on upgrades, much to the protest of the other Independence Trophy cars, mainly Connolly and Jackson. Not Jackson Newgood. Jackson kind of applauded Disney Motorsports for recognizing a problem and fixing it. Nothing in the rulebook says you have to bring the same engine each weekend and do it, and Disney Motorsports caught that. No penalties to be expected from them, though I think they're going to rechange the rulebook about bringing in upgraded parts. So now 3 wide with Devin Butler and Wesley Joel. Joel having an amazing season so far. Getting a podium helps. Here's Freddie Jones as he's throwing a block on Edmund Berlund, who had that penalty. Freddie Jones is the son of 7-time world champion Fred Jones, who's won literally anything. If you can think of a competition that involves race cars or motorbikes or whatever, he's probably won it. Le Mans won, Daytona won, both Ferraris in the 500. Indy won, US 500, the only driver to win it 5 times, and he's also the only driver to win the International Racing League title 7 times. Anyway, Freddie Jones, on the other hand, he is 18, and he's just as aggressive as his father as he's making a move on Edmund Berlund. A little late move, I don't think Berlund appreciated that, but, well, as Freddie Jones' father has said, if car, yeah. Don't know what that means, but, well, he's won 7 world championships, so we can, I guess, give him a break. Fred Jones is going to be returning later this year. Freddie Jones in his debut, though, doing rather well. James Cathart is looking to make a move on Ingy Arceus, try to get second, hopefully make a run on his teammate. Arceus slides up the track a bit. Cathart says thank you very much, but he gets the back end sideways, so that's going to delay him a bit. Arceus going to try to fight back on the outside, entering 3 and 4, and he's going to shut the door successfully this time. However, she's going to hit the paint, slide up the track a bit. Cathart takes advantage, is going to go low now on the 33, down the back straight, or main straight, whatever this front stretch, whatever that part of the track is called. Cathart underneath her this time, and looks like he will complete the move before they get into the dogleg. No, Arceus is fighting back as much as he can. However, she's going to try way too hard to hold off the sit 15, and new second place runner James Cathart, Brickery qualified. Victoria ended off by her standards, having an amazing race. She made it past lap 1 without a problem. In Fontana, she blew up, taking the green flag, and at Liscato, she spun out, and well, she got spun off a curve. Someone hit a curve, I think it was Grainer, and she got spun out because of it. Matthew Evans up to 20th after having qualifying problems. Great run by him. This is lap 15 or something like that. So in about 15 laps, he's made up 20 spots. Matthew Evans again trying to gain on Rich Roy, who is behind him. Rich Roy is having a horrible weekend, but Matthew Evans, quite the contrary. Qualifying was an anomaly. He was one of the fastest in the practice sections. Jake Bennett slides up the track, exiting 3 and 4. Madrigal with a run in the 64 car. Madrigal, 20 years old. We think she might be getting a full-time run next year. However, we're on round 3, so it's a little hard to assume what's going on next year. I think she's more worried about this race, which is kind of how we expected Madrigal to go. Worry about each race one by one. Bennett is worrying about the big picture. However, in his mind, the big picture involves that 64 car apparently, and he's trying to get past her. However, he's in the high lane on a 1-lane track. You see where this is going. Devin Butler is going to sweep underneath the 5 car and take, I think that's 5th. Wesley Joel behind him. Joel is the highest running Toyota. and that's not a factory Toyota. Factory Toyota, one of the factory Toyotas are behind them, and that is Viola Ling, the 2-time world champion. Only factory driver to do it. The first woman driver, I believe, to win it. Anyway, Jessie Knox is out under attack from Cathart in the 15 car. Team Rocket has been running really well all weekend. They've swept the practice sessions, I believe. Cathart looking low. If they didn't have that poor race in California, and if bad luck and Murphy's Law didn't happen to them last time out, I wonder where these cars would be in the championship-wise. Team Rocket, a very fast, very confident group of racers. I think just they need a little bit more luck, and they'll have some more wins as Cathart takes the lead away from Jessie Knox. Rich Roy is stuck behind the Gary Snyder cars. He's had no pace all weekend. He's been off the walls, he's spun out, he's broken things. It's been a miserable weekend. Same could be, actually no, same cannot be said for the 13 and 63 car. 60 has a penalty, and I'm not sure what happened to Ethan in qualifying. I think they're working on my race up because Ethan's also charging her away from the field. Kaylee Zappa in this car 60 making her first start. Same can be said for the car behind her about Carlos Rodriguez. Viola Ling now is trying to get around Devin Butler, who's currently getting attacked by Wesley Joel the Brit. Joel slides up from the 71. I think he might have jammed the brakes and jam up at 71 because here comes a Ling and exiting the dogleg, entering turn 3, and Butler's fighting back, but I don't think it's going to be much. Though Wesley Joel isn't exactly being a great, I want to say teammate, they're not on the same team, but well, it's a Toyota Racing Development car, and that's a Toyota racing car. You can figure out what they are. Ling passes Butler. Nope, not quite. Butler's coming back around the outside. Butler not giving in, something we expected him not to do. He's one of those fighters, but, well, he's gonna misjudge that corner. Almost hit the wall, and Viola Ling says thank you very much. I'll be taking 9th now. Victoria Endenov reported a puncture and is pitting this lap. So Murphy's Law still is a thing to that 99 crew. Everyone behind the 35 car has gotten away. Ryan Raber has been jamming through the field, looking at the Gary Snyder cars dueling. I think this is for about 20th. Behind Jackson is Richard and Brandy Thorne, and they don't exactly like each other. Masana's passing Raver up ahead. Jackson throws it in on his teammate. Ackerman sees him, gives him space. These two really get along well at Gary Snyder Racing. Here's the problem with the Gary Snyder driver of Jackson. That's a Ferrari car, but that's Audi powered. That happened during the Switch Motorsports buying the team out, partially. So there's a good chance that Jackson may not be running the full schedule in the 98 car. That's unfortunate as Pierre Lamont slides up the track, so is Jared Jackson. Freddie Jones, excuse me, goes 3 wide with them entering turn number 3. Jones backs it out. I think he gave a shot to Jackson, though, because Jackson's playing up the racetrack. I think they touch. Bill Lamont, I think, scraped the wall. They're 3 wide across the stripe, but it's still Jackson's position. Jones is trying to fight back on the come back on the inside. Lamont trying to come back on the outside. He slides back out, and that car is sideways. That 59 is. Here comes now Ryan Rickshaw on the inside of the 59. Jackson gets the position, and then Jones follows through. I think Rickshaw made a look on the 47 while trying to get past the 59, and that 59 is going backwards. Lamont's all over the place. I think Rickshaw's giving him more room than he needs to get past that 59, because Lamont does not look fine behind that car. Behind the wheel of that car, which is, you want to get a handling car here in Phoenix. Matthew Evans has climbed up his lane top 10 with that pass. Actually, he's in 9th because Smith was running 9th. He passed her, and now he's making the move on Carlos Rodriguez. Lap 38, Knotts brings the car in, followed by a whole gag of cars. 39, Cather brings the field in. Lap 40, Chris Legazzoni is passing Dan Connolly, which would be P1 on the racetrack, but I don't think it would be a net P1. Connolly's... That car looks a little slow. Oh, he's outfield. Dan Connolly ran outfield, trying to go a little too long. Regazzoni's crew is ready, by the way. They've been ready for the last few laps. I think Regazzoni's trying to push more of that car. Connolly did the same, but that looks a little bit more of an oopsie on the pit box. So Connolly's going to lose some time. The top 3 didn't really change. Cathart, Knotts, and Arison. Nothing really oh, they didn't really gain time, lost time, and they just stayed put. I think the Knox might be saving fuel, as scoring is at the update, it looks like. Yeah, Knox, I think, just might be saving her tires, saving her fuel, maybe trying to set up a run and Catherine later on in the run, when her car is lighter, and when Catherine's grip loses all of his grip. Connelly's exiting the pits now. They spent a lot of time looking into the hood, so there may be more problems. Notch hits him! Notch hit the 06 coming out of the pit lane! Now, I really don't know what Notch was thinking. The 06 is a solid object, and I have no idea what Notch was thinking. She had the whole outside of the racetrack to go, and she just moved down the 06. Connelly has been involved in a few silly incidents this year, but that one wasn't his fault. Actually, the first one wasn't his fault. And here's another one that's not his fault. David Bison just exited the pits and ran in front of him. And the pit crew to car 88 have been called to race control post-race. Dolores Madrigal leads on the restart, lap 46 of 156. Connelly slipped up the racetrack. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or just because that car's been beat to hell. But Cather takes advantage of it, is going to go 3 wide with the lap car and Madrigal. Orman's in third, trying to get around, look around the 06 to maybe have a run up Catherine and Madrigal. And, to no avail. Back here, this is around 7th place, because the 50 and 19 are fighting for 5th. It's all Hornets next. Arceus 3 wide with the 19. John Newgood having a good run. Keith Thorne's made his way through the field. I think the 50 tagged the wall. It looks like there's some damage to that 50 car. Great runs for all these cars, but Regazzoni, excuse me, that's not Regazzoni, that's Carlos Rodriguez. I'm not sure I got those names mixed up. Is now stuck in a through-out situation with both Toyotas. Masona clears a 95 and then immediately blocks her teammate. Good teamwork at Toyota today, apparently. I'm gonna get those people messed up. Rodriguez throws it into turn 3 to try to get around the Toyotas, but the Toyotas are side by side. He's got Wesley Joel over him like a bad smell. He's gonna chop off the 4 though, try making him around the 19, as I think that 19 is still having mechanical problems that they've been suffering throughout qualifying, so that's unfortunate. Masana's been doing really well. Rodriguez clears the 19. The 19's wide. Whoa, she's in the wall. There's definitely something wrong with that car. So Everett Masana, going backwards. Engie Arison, car number 33, fell back on that pit stops under caution. She's trying to make her way throughout the field, however. Unlike most of the field, she took 4 tires. A lot of people took 2. So let's see if that has any difference later on in the run. She just passed the 24 car where will be 3rd place. Masana still sliding backwards. Oh, that car got loose again. Tim Korting was also falling back after he murdered the wall in turn 3. This is about for around 11th. Yes, 11th. And Jackson fell back, didn't he? Anyway. Masana's gonna pass the 50, gonna maybe set up Regazzoni if she can have the run. Up ahead of these guys is Ace Smithley and Brianne Thorne. This is for our 10th spot, we believe. Smithley clears, or is not clearing, he's gonna make a move on the 13. Gonna make a pass. Thorne sideways, looks like, and, well, new car in the top 10. Metroid has made no progress through the field. He's racing with Kaya West and Kate and Tannehill, who Tannehill's door slams him for some reason. Roy, I think, is more concerned about just trying to bring this car home and maybe score some points. He's been not happy with the radio. Tannehill races him up the racetrack, hooks the 79, around he goes, and Tannehill and Souza are on the wall as well. I really don't know what Tannehill was thinking. Roy moves up the racetrack as is possible. I'm thinking that's in retaliation to her door slamming him in turn 2, and then Tannehill just hooks the 29, and Suleli Souza is an innocent bystander. Here, Souza's on board. Roy's going up the track. He is wide. Tannehill then just moves over into him. Like, Roy has to come down at some point, and Tannehill gave him no space. Under this caution, we're looking at Freddie Jones, who's not too far behind his 2 teammates. I think it's a good Freddie Jones is reporting a mechanical problem, so unfortunately, Freddie Jones' debut is cut short. Cathart, I'm getting around pit stops. Cathart is going to lead them to the green flag, followed by Magical, Harrison, Aling, and Bennett. Green flag, good start by Cathart. Connolly got a better one though. Trying to get his lap back, and Dolores Magical is going to do the same move Cathart did to her last restart. Let the 06 push the 15 out of the way, and here comes the Colombian, the young Colombian, to the lead. Nope, not quite. Cathart's fighting back. I think gave the 06 a shot to get out of the way, but the 06 didn't like that, and he moves back over into Cathart. This will allow Magical to take the lead, and Cathart is going to be under attack by Ingy Harrison. So Dan Connolly pulling spoiler after the 15 kind of shoved him out of the way. Harrison looking low on the 64, but Magical is going to cut her off. So, great restart by Harrison, and the 5 and 11 make contact. The 06 is in the wall. The 15's reporting a flat tire, probably thanks to the 06 who bounced off the wall. We got 4 wide in the background, but Harrison is going for the lead. Putting a bit of on Dolores Magical. Entering turns 1 and 2, and by the time they clear 1 and 2, she's gonna be in front of the Colombian, and I think Magical will let her go. Back, this is around 6th place. During the chaos with the 5, 11, and the 06 made contact, everyone checked up, and, well, Smithley didn't. And grabbed a few spots. Nice move made by Smithley, but she's under attack by John Newgood, who is the veteran of Florida. Newgood has 1 win to his name that happened in the US 500 back in 2006. So, well, I don't think a win's on his card today. A top 5 is possible, and is one of the ways you need to get that is get past this 14 car, as there are 3 wide behind the 2. Newgood in the dog leg. Gonna have a good run on Smithley and clear the young American driver. Here's another young American driver in the name of Kyle West. West is, well, definitely not as experienced as Roy or Smithy are. He's currently trying to hold off Pierre Lamont, and the Universal Motorsports car. Lamont throws it in there. Corte making a 3 wide. West gonna give them plenty of room. Corte moves Lamont off the track. West gets out of the way of both of them, and he gets out of the way a little too much by finding the outside wall. Not exactly what you want to be doing. And looks like he hits Aiden Jackson and Allison Holiday in the process. Speaking of Gary Center Motorsports, here's the other car that's left in the race. Casper Ackerman, trying to hold off Edmund Berlund, who, after his penalty, really hasn't done much. Which is it's not really what we were expecting. We were kind of actually expecting a little bit more from Berlund. He almost won the Ohio Grand Prix last year, but thanks to the left pass by DeThorne didn't happen. I think he may have won because he's a little more aggressive. He's trying to get past Daniel Marco now after clearing the 54. Jarrett Jackson's going with him. I think Ackerman got loose during that turn because that was a big slot of the racetrack. Jackson clears the 54. Berlund still trying to clear the 79. Up ahead of these two, DeThorne and Ormond are fighting over 8th. Ormond I think may have made slight contact with DeThorne, but DeThorne's gone up the racetrack and into Ormond hasn't taken the place yet. Again, DeThorne trying to cut him off, but can't. And Ormond's still side by side in the dog leg. Entering 3, Ormond DeThorne's coming back, but she sent that one a little too hard, and she's gonna lose a spot finally. Took a driver mistake for Ormond to claim that spot. Zappa is gonna try to do the same thing to Andonoff, who is making a great pre-cover with the field. That caution kind of helped. We're gonna be honest. Zappa though, this is battle for, I think this is for 12th because DeThorne's 10th. Yeah, this is about for 12th. Zappa clears it. Andonoff's fighting back as the Ferrari drivers are fighting this one out ahead of them. Zappa, excuse me, is finally ahead of Andonoff as Andonoff's going to slide backwards. As the Ferraris are fighting in front of him, Red Troy is still stuck behind the Curious Knitter cars. And I think he's getting slightly agitated at this now. He's leading the championship and is surrounded by cars he's not normally around. Could be a problem for him in his championship run. Jackson sliding up the racetrack, and Roy also sideways up the racetrack. So there's definitely a problem with the 29, and I don't think that into the 98. He's really getting annoyed now. I think he's trying to rough up the young Brit. He's got West underneath him though, so I don't think getting out of the way might be a good idea. Jackson, I think, thought about pit maneuvering the 29, which I wouldn't recommend. Jackson trying to hang around the outside, and Roy is going to put him in the middle. Drives almost into the locks in turn 4 and will hold the spot. Now Jackson has to worry about Kyle West. And West will take the spot. And maybe make a run at Rich Roy, but Roy closes the door. Jackson losing 2 spots in 1 lap. Not good for him at all. Next few laps after this, Ingy Harrison's going to lead the field to the pit lane, along with the damaged 65. Magico's bringing the rest of the field except for Christopher Regazzoni, who's still going 1 lap longer than everyone else. He seems to be getting great fuel economy, and D. Thorne seems to be following him. James Catherine is the only car not to pit, but he's on an alternate strategy thanks to the flat tire. From what I understand, Catherine isn't happy with Connolly. Here's the net battle for the race lead, the 11, the 5, and the 33 all exiting the pits at the same time. 33 is around the 5, trying to clear the 5, but won't clear the 11. 11 tries to move up the racetrack to cover her off. Ace Harrison's going to do a crossover move. And Viola Link's still fighting back on the outside. And clears the 11. Slides up the racetrack, but that's going to allow Jake Bennett in. Oh, Bennett sideways! Bennett almost loses that car as scoring zipped up down the right-hand side, but it's pretty much right. No, it's not even close. Korchak's on 4th. As these 3 have encountered lap traffic. Holiday is going to get out of the way, and scoring is scoring is all updated. Yay. Harrison isn't at P1 though. So good stop and run by her. Not good stop by the Disney Motorsports crew. They went from 2nd to 8th or 6th. 7th is Bolger Daniels, and Daniels is going to have a run on Madrigal. Madrigal going to close the door once. Though Harrison's going to have Daniels is going to have a better run on the inside. Clears. Yeah, now it gets past Madrigal. Madrigal isn't exactly fighting, I've noticed that much. I think she's just concerned about getting a good finish, just helping her independence trophy, and not taking any unnecessary risks. Cather pits a few laps later to get back on cycle. Ackerman was trying to step a move on D. Thorne. Now he's setting up a move on D. Thorne thanks to the lap car of Jesse Knox, who I think's she's over the place. That 70 car's a lot of damage, mostly actually it is all self-inflicted. D. Thorne though is gonna hold off this 54 car. Remember, that's a Ferrari with an Audi engine in it. That car's not exactly stable than most of the other cars in the grid. They do plan on working on this car throughout the year just to make sure it can actually, go places. But we saw that I'm not sure if we caught it, but the 98 has been sideways a few times, exiting turn 2, and Ackerman had a big scare in qualifying in the dogleg. Joel making a move on Ackerman now. Catherine a lap down. Matthew Evans has fallen from the field a bit thanks to he just had a slow pit stop. So his pit crew are not going to be winning any medals. This is for 10th. Jackson, Andanov, and Zappa. You can see not too far behind him is Korting, and I think that's Regazzoni. I can't tell. Ferrari's made it physically impossible to tell their cars apart. Andanov making a move on Jackson. I assume that is the Thorne, not Regazzoni. Zappa looks high. I think she is either letting Korting in or had a run that went nowhere. Andanov is going to take 10th from Jackson. Jackson gonna try to fight that one back. He's going, whoa, 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 that's way too hot! And he almost throws into the scenery. Zappa has a run though, and is gonna take 11th, and here comes the freight train. All aboard the Zappa train as Jackson is going backwards. Not exactly something I want to be doing. There goes Courting, here comes the Thorn. He's gonna try to fight, actually, Courting, but he's almost throwing it away again. That 48 might have a handling problem, because he's all over the place. Or his brakes are fading. And that could be a problem. Actually, it will be a problem. Here comes Wesley Jewell, trying to force him on the lane. I don't think it's gonna do anything. And it doesn't. John Newgood fighting off Danny Marco and Edmund Berlund. This is for 15th or something like that. Newgood doing the best he can, but his pit crew again also not getting any favors. He fell back a bit. He's trying to hold off Danny Marco. Marco went wide and Newgood went with him just to hold him off, but that's going to let Edmund Berlund with a run on the inside, who is finally getting his act together, it looks like. Charging his way through the field. Oh, it took him about half the race. He's gonna see Newgood. Can't clear or can't block Marco. Berlund already got past him. He's gonna go wide again. So, I wonder if both Hero Motorsport cars are having problems because they're all over the place. Yeah, see Marco is not gonna pass that 25, entering turn 1. Clears him, exiting turn 2. And Newgood, I wouldn't say it's a long day, but it's getting longer. In Garrison has caught lap traffic, and the name of David Bison, who isn't happy with David Bison and Dan Connolly. Connolly isn't happy at Bison, understandably so. Pit crews need to pay attention more, I think. Jake Bennett is getting reeled in, reeling in. Harrison thinks to lap traffic. Caitlin Tannehill getting out of the way. It looks like to not get ran over by the 33 car, who's a lot faster than about half people on the racetrack. I don't think I need to say that. Oh, never mind. Tannehill's not paying any attention, so she's learned nothing from when Roy put her, or when she ran Roy into Silly Souza. So Tannehill needs some more spatial awareness. The person who doesn't need more spatial awareness is Jake Bennett, who at this rate, as they run, has the points lead. Bennett and Roy are the only two drivers this year to complete every lap so far, and we're in round 2. Yikes. So this is going to be a crash-filled season of reliability, low reliability season. And I'm really hoping it's neither or, because we get some great races when people aren't smashing each other out, or when these cars aren't made out of jello. Bennett has had a few good runs in the past few years, no championship yet. Keyword yet. This is his own team, his own operation. He's getting some factory help from Ford. I think that was obvious. This team is looking forward to the US 500 in Michigan, Ford's home race. Wouldn't it be something if Ford won the US 500? That hasn't happened since... Oh, it's been a while, probably since the late 90s. That's Ford's home track. So, that's still though 4 races away, so we got some time before that race. Bennett, though, is trying to run down Ingy Harrison for the lead. And never mind, he's not anymore! Engine failure, car number 5. Big plume of smoke out of that Ford. And, at this rate, this is Ingy Harrison's races to lose. As you can see, that's the battle for second behind him. This is between the 11 and 71. This is the replay we're looking at now. Ling is making a move on Devin Butler, who is, he hasn't wrecked anyone yet. He hasn't wrecked anyone yet this year, actually, so that's a huge accomplishment for Devin. We really didn't think that was ever going to happen. Olga Daniels is in 4th, not too far behind him, as you can see the smoke from the 5 car. That causes Butler to go high on the racetrack. I think Ling's going to try to keep him up there, but the 71's going to get a nice run with the momentum around the high side, so that might have been on purpose. Ling, though, fighting back on the inside. They couldn't have picked a worse shade of brown for that car, couldn't they? Still, side by side, and now like entering 3. Butler gonna do the same thing he did last time. Try to get as high as possible, though he can't get the run. He's gonna get the run, though. He's gonna keep second for this lap. And Boiling is gonna fall back in line. Don't race your tires so hard. You still got at least one more pit stop to make. and doesn't have the Booker Daniels is coming in. However, Daniels is going to be the hurry up Aling needs. She's going to go sailing around Devin Butler, entering turn 1 and 2, because I guess she said to save her tires. Butler on the high line is probably going to get freight trained by the 75 car as well. So, he's going to try the same defensive move he did last time, but he's going to try a little too hard, almost hits the wall. And Aling gets through, and so does Daniels. So Butler trying a little too hard to hold that spot. And now Daniels is going to go for second on Aling. This is the next lap after Butler was burned at the wall. Aling's teasing her a bit, leaving the inside open, then shutting it off. However, Daniels is going to hit the curb, get loose, going to try to make a move, and the 11 shuts the door. But I think she outbraked herself doing so, and Daniels is going to come by the 75. They got lap traffic in the way, and the 75 going to get past the 11. So Daniels moving her way up to the field, but she's got to deal with lap traffic, and the lap car's not going to make their life miserable. We're looking at John Nugent still biting the 63 and 79, has blown up, so that's another engine failure. Not much time left in the race. The Audi boys are fighting over the last top 10 spot, I believe. Yes. Actually, this is last top 16 spot, so this is for 16th. We think. Yeah. So Evans is gonna try to get around Tim Courting. Both these guys have been making great charges to the field. Well, Courting charged back through the field. Evans, remember, started like on 26 or something. Tim. Maybe better qualifying. Could have seen Evans challenge the race lead. Inky Harrison's going to pit. This should be the last pit stop of the race. Daniels and Connolly is also going to pit the next lap. Victoria Indanov is in. Aling's going to pit the next lap. We got Bogart Daniels. I'm just going to screen with Edmund Merlon, who's done the same thing that Jesse Notch did and has hit Inky Harrison. D. Thorne's nowhere to go. So has Evans. And into Ackerman Zapata. I think Lamont got a piece of it. Big crash on lap 133. Yeah, Daniels got hit by Berlin for no good reason. And around goes Daniels and Kaylee Zappa, and Ackerman got caught up in it. And Devin Butler nowhere to go, but into the 60. So big shots for a lot of drivers. We're on board with Bulgrid Daniels. See, she slides in the oil and hits her teammate, who is the race leader. So Andy Harrison was running in the lead, but got whipped up by her teammate who hit oil. That's gonna put Viola Aling in the lead. And now we got drivers who've been nowhere all race, like Rich Roy and Kyle West inside the top 10. Ace Smithley's in third, of all places. She's been nowhere in the top. Oh, she's been in the top 10, but nowhere inside the top 3. Green flag of lap 134 with about 20-something laps left. And Viola Aling is now to hold on from 3 drivers who have never won a race before. Oh no! And to make it even more problems, Connolly got a good race start, and James Cathar is definitely the best car on the racetrack. Behind him, Tim Courting's making it 3 wide and trying to get around the 95 and 14. Christopher Regazzoni's pit strategy has put him inside the top 5, and has given him a shot to win this race. Courting clears the lap car of David Bison. Here, he's going to cut off the 55. Cause Rodriguez led the racetrack trying to race the 14 because Caitlin Tannehill doesn't know what a mirror is and has been swerving over the place. And 3 wide for third. Tim Courting to the top 3. Smithley fighting back on the outside. And is going to really try to hold up, but Caitlin Tannehill is racing Smithley like it's the last lap of the last race of her life, which is really getting on the nerves of the 14. Carlos Rodriguez, though, is currently sitting in third and is having an amazing run. Oh, the engine's gone! The engine's gone on the run out! Big puff of smoke on the 95! And that's a horrible place to be. That's the narrowest part of the racetrack. Nowhere to go for Roy! Roy hits him! So has Tannehill, and he's upside down! The 95's upside down and nowhere for Jesse Knox to go. So, Ronald Rodriguez, but a huge crash with about 8 laps to go. About 12 laps to go. Has to get the restart again. There's absolutely nothing anyone could do. He's in one of the narrowest parts of the racetrack with oil spewing out of the back of his car. Big shame for the Universal cars. All the lap cars have been waved through, which means there's a cleared track ahead of Aling, Rodriguez, and Courting. This race isn't over yet. We're gonna have about 8 or 7 laps to go as we take the green flag. Running order on the top right-hand corner. Green flag for Ling. Great start by the left. That's exactly what she needed. Well ahead of the 64 car now. A. Smith, it looked like she's trying to get out of line and pass the 55. But this is what Ling needed. She got a great restart. And is clear. Is well clear of her nearest competitors. As they come out of turn number... a few laps later, I think it's turn number 2. It's still Ling. Victoria Enidov is going to take advantage of Victoria Enidov is going to take advantage of In Garrison, who's rear end smashed to hell thanks to Oil and her teammate. This is the battle for 7th. Kaya West has been nowhere, is running inside the top 10. And so has Everett Masana. Also inside the top 10. Victoria Enidov cannot get past Arison yet, however, she's going to send this one into turn number 1. Clears the 33. Leslie Joel with a huge dive bomb in 1 to try to get past the 80. Arison gets past by Enidov. Not too many laps to go now, and Courting is starting to feel the pressure from Regazzoni, right, and he slips up the racetrack. Here comes Regazzoni. Regazzoni makes a move on the 50 as he makes a mistake himself. Regazzoni keeps it calm, cool, collected. Jim Courting's gonna try to go around the high line to try to keep the 55 pattern for his first podium this season. But not enough. Regazzoni's stoned though. He's got to run down the front straightaway. Entering turns 1 and 2. Cannot get clear from Regazzoni ahead. Here comes Smithley now. It looks like Courting's about to get freight trained by about... Actually, no. The 99 and 59 are fighting, so he might not get freight trained. Smithley, though, is going to try to get past this 50 car. And Courting's going to do the same thing. Get the high line momentum and try to stay out of the 14. Smithley's going to try to box him in and force him to back out, and that's not going to work, but Smithley does have the spot at the line. And clears the 50. Enidov makes a move on Lamont at the same time. And look, Smithley clears the 50. The 99 and 59 are side by side. And the 59 is falling back. White flag for Viola Ling, and she has to hold off from Madrigal. And Regazzoni. Madrigal slips up the turn. She's gone wide a bit. Regazzoni closes in and the 11 pulls away. That's exactly what she needed. Entering turn 3 and 4. Madrigal, I think, is too far back. And Madrigal again sliding high. Regazzoni might have a run. But meanwhile, Viola Ling is going to come out of turn number 4 and take the victory here in Arizona. Tim, good runs made by everyone. In Garrison, if she didn't have those problems, could be probably looking at her first career win. Masana and Lamont, good run charged to the field by Masana. Cathar, after being a lap down, has made her way up to the top, made her way up to 12th. Rich Roy keeps his 100 finishing every race streak alive. And well, only 23 cars finished. Nathan Orman, the last car on the lap, he went out. He was a piece of his teammates, the wreck that his teammate caused by blowing up. Looking at the point standings, Wesley Joel, in a car that's obviously not as strong as the main Toyotas, is leading the points. Rich Roy is going to fall down the second, and Wesley Joel jumped away inside the top 3. Bennett has fallen through the field, and Masana has climbed. We will see you next time as the series visits Texas.